All right, let's talk about something we all think we know. Vegetables are good for you, right? Eat more vegetables. Well, what if I told you that for some folks, certain healthy vegetables could actually be a problem? Today, we're going to dig into the surprising truth about some really common veggies and the hidden dangers they can pose for weak kidneys.
So let me just ask you straight up, are vegetables always safe? It's a question we almost never think to ask. We just kind of assume the answer is, of course.
But here's the thing. For anyone dealing with kidneys that aren't working at 100%, that assumption is a total myth. See, when your kidneys can't filter out everything out properly, even normally healthy foods can start to cause some serious issues.
And here's what's really wild. We're not talking about exotic, hard-to-find stuff. Nope. 3 of the vegetables we're about to cover are probably sitting in your kitchen, like right now.
This all leads us to what I call the healthy vegetable myth. Here's the deal. When your kidneys are struggling, they have a hard time getting rid of certain minerals. So something like potassium, which your body needs, can suddenly build up to toxic levels in your blood, putting a massive strain on your whole system.
So let's start with the big one, potassium. It's an absolutely essential mineral, but for weak kidneys, too much of it is a huge problem. Let's look at a few common vegetables that are just packed with the stuff.
And first on our list, the humble potato. I mean, come on, it's a staple comfort food pretty much everywhere, but it's also a secret powerhouse of potassium.
Just look at that number. A single medium-sized potato can have around 610 milligrams of potassium. Now, if your kidneys are healthy, no big deal. But for kidneys that are already working overtime, that is a huge amount to try and filter, and it can even mess with your heart rhythm.
But hey, here's the good news. You don't have to banish potatoes forever. There's this really cool method called leaching that makes a world of difference. All you do is peel and cut them up, soak them, give them a quick boil, and toss that water. Then cook them again in fresh water. It sounds like a few steps, but it can pull out up to half of the potassium. That gives your kidneys a much-needed break.
Okay, next up, leafy greens. We're talking about things like spinach and Swiss chard. Now, here's the trick you have to understand. When you cook a giant pile of raw spinach, it shrinks down to almost nothing, right? But the potassium, it doesn't go anywhere. It just gets super concentrated into that tiny little portion.
So with these leafy greens, you're getting a real double hit. First, you get that concentrated potassium we just talked about, but on top of that, they're high in these things called oxalates, which can actually form painful kidney stones. So what's the smarter play here? Well, keep your portions small, try eating them raw in a salad, and mix it up with lower potassium greens like regular lettuce.
And of course, we have to talk about the tomato. It's in everything from salads to sauces. But just like those leafy greens, how you prepare it, well, it matters. A lot.
Just look at this. A cup of fresh, chopped tomato has about 292 milligrams of potassium. That's not too bad. But once you cook it down and concentrate it into tomato sauce, whoa! That number jumps all the way up to 728 milligrams. Just a little bit of pasta sauce can be a bigger potassium bomb than a whole fresh tomato.
So what do you do if you love that saucy goodness? Try this fantastic swap. Roasted red pepper sauce. Seriously, you get that same rich, sweet flavor for your pasta, but with way, way less potassium. It's such a simple switch, but it makes a huge difference.
Okay, but potassium isn't the only thing we need to watch out for. The second hidden problem is sodium, especially when it's used to preserve vegetables. This is a classic case of when preservation can actually become the poison.
Think about this for a second. A single large dill pickle, which is really just a cucumber that's been preserved, can have over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That is a shocking amount. For many kidney patients, that's almost half of their entire daily limit in one pickle.
And here's why that's such a big deal. All that sodium makes your body hang on to extra water, which puts your kidneys into overdrive trying to filter it all out. When they're already struggling, that extra work can lead to swelling and high blood pressure, making everything that much harder.
But just like before, there are some really easy, safer swaps. Instead of super salty pickles, you can marinate fresh cucumbers in some vinegar and herbs to get that same tangy kick. And when it comes to canned vegetables, which are often swimming in sodium, your best bet is always fresh or frozen. But if you do use canned, just give them a really good rinse under the tap. You'd be amazed how much salt you can wash away.
So, after hearing all this, it would be pretty easy to feel a little worried. I get it. But the point here isn't to be scared of food. It's to be smarter about it. This is all about taking this knowledge and putting it into action.
Let's just run through a quick checklist.
First, keep an eye out for that hidden potassium, especially in foods that are cooked down or processed. Second, limit all that added sodium from things like canned or pickled foods. Third, always think about the preparation method. How you cook something can totally change its profile. And finally, just keep an eye on your serving sizes.
At the end of the day, this isn't about making a list of good and bad vegetables. The goal isn't to make you afraid of your food. It's just to understand how food changes. Knowing what happens when a vegetable is cooked, or cured, or canned, that's what gives you the power to make choices that help your kidneys instead of overwhelming them.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Based on what we just talked about, what's one small change you could make, maybe even today, to help protect your kidneys? Whether it's just rinsing some canned beans or trying out that red pepper sauce, it's those small choices that really add up to build long-term health.